Stress begins with bad breath. Breath, your breath. You're breathing. That's what it is. It's your breathing. Dysfunctional breathing creates anxiety and uneasiness. You know that. Think about how when you breathe shallowly and quickly and you're nervous. But when you breathe deeply, it brings you calm and peace. So just breathe. That's today's message. Just breathe. Don't hyperventilate. Just breathe and have a good time. That's the biggest thing. Have a good time. Get some good habits going, and you're having a good habit because you're coming and doing your yoga every day. And whether you sit here or take, child's pose or final Shavasana for the whole practice, just breathe. Establish good habits. Establish good breathing habits and enjoy your yoga along the way. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. That's Bonnie. Dwayne's doing the cameras. Life is good. Thank you for letting me do yoga with you. You're doing your yoga from home. That's really nice. You don't have to worry. It's a no intimidation zone. This is where you do what is right for your body. Only your only unique body. Do what is right for you. Your yoga may look really different from mine, and that's okay. Just breathe through it. Just try and do what feels good for you. This is a 1 hour long practice. You can stick around for the whole hour, or maybe only 10 minutes is all you can squeeze in. That's okay. We have a nice little warm up that you could do. Every day our practices are different. Check us out every day. Today's practice is our strength and balancing practice. And I mean strength. You're going to build strength, but we all need to build strength. And there's lots of ways you can do it and lots of props you can take. And I'll talk about those in just a moment. The word I'd like you to think about today as you practice is work. Work. Oh my gosh, I don't want to think about work. But work is a result of an activity. Think good work. You did it. You did a good job. If you want things to work, you've got to work them. Think of your knees. Think of your shoulders. You got to work them if you want them to work for you. All right, we're going to measure that with a stress number. We do this every single day. We take a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. What's going on? I don't know. Is it the stress in your head, the stress in your body? Just give it a number like at the doctor's office. Smiley face to frowny face. Give it a number and we'll come back to that to give you a quantifiable measure of the success of your work today. All right, the props I mentioned. We always use 2 yoga blocks. We've always got those handy. Buy them. They're not expensive. Usually you can get a strap with them also. You might want to have that. My favorite is the eye shade and the towel for final Shavasana. The best pose is the one at the end. We saved the best for last. So have those. And some water handy too. You don't have to have any props at all. Just come, just do your thing. All right, let's come on up to a standing position. You've locked your stress number in. We're going to do a little warm up. And maybe that's all you can squeeze in today. Don't judge yourself. We're so hard on ourselves. Be kind to you. Be your own best friend. All right, take a stand of confidence. I kind of feel silly doing this, but do it. Be strong. Place your hands on your hips. Spread your feet a little wide. Send your shoulders back and down. Chest is lifted. Strike a stance of confidence. Why not? Now start to breathe. I know you're breathing. You're breathing all the time. But start to breathe intentionally. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big audible, that's the key, an audible sigh out through your mouth. In through the nose. An audible sigh out through your mouth. Take in goodness, freshness, a new beginning. Your practice on your mat today. And let go, breathe out, sigh it out, push it out. All the negativity, all the doubt, all the stress. Big breath in. And big breath out. You got your hands on your hips. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Send your shoulders back. Back, back. Roll them back to the back of your room. Just move your shoulders. Do it kind of quickly. And you know what? You're doing yoga. You can do yoga. You do yoga. You are doing your yoga. Keep moving the shoulders back, back, back. Now shrug them forward. That feels kind of awkward. Move them forward, forward, forward. Keep them moving. Rotate them. Get into the shoulders. You'll be glad you did. Warm them up like this when we do our Chaturanga Dandasana. All right, let's finish up. Hands are on your hips. Take a deep breath in. Shoulders are still. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Release your hands down by your sides. Send your shoulders up to your ears. Send your shoulders to the back of the room, and then send your shoulders down. So let's add something else in too. When you bring your shoulders up, come up onto your toes. Shoulders go back, stay up on your toes, and then shoulders come down. Feet can come down too. Let's do it again. Shoulders up, shoulders back, and then down in the heels. Lift, back, lower. Lift, back, lower. Lift, back, lower. You know, another prop you could have is a chair here. You could be using the chair for a little bit of extra balance. Just come up onto your toes, shoulders up, back, down. If you don't want to combine it all, hands can be on the hips and lift out of the heels, coming up onto your toes. We're just complicating things a little bit, shaking it up by adding in the shoulder shrugs and the lifts at the same time. All right. Let's finish up. Plant your feet solidly. Oh, that sounds good. Let's do some cross-body things. Reach your right arm high to the left side of your room and take your hips with you. Give them a little twist. Reach, then the other side. So let that foot lift up on the side of the reaching arm. Lift. Just kind of be big. Sideways movements. So you're reaching to the side like you're trying to pick an apple off of a tree. It's a little out of reach, but you're trying, and that's what counts. And you know what? Become somebody new. Practice every day. Become somebody new every day. And know that the accumulation of the actions that you take are evidence of who you are. Breathe. 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 Get your hips in. Breathe, stretch, reach. All good. Finish up. Come back to standing. Bring your hands to your low back. Fingers down, squeeze your elbows towards your spine, lift through the chest, look up to the sky. Big breath in, big sigh and breath out. Remember to come back to your breath. Good breathing. When you're ready, forward fold. As you forward fold, let your arms hang heavy. Look down to your toes. Maybe look to your ankles or to your knees. Crown of your head, let it hang heavy toward the earth. Little bend in your knees might feel good. Hands can reach toward the earth, can touch the earth, or maybe not so much. Hollow out your belly, fold forward, breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. Now let your arms fly out to the side, tee them out, bring them up behind your back, interlace your fingers or close to it, and then send your interlaced fingers higher up the sky. You're looking down to your knees or your navel, send your shoulders high, fingers high, breathe. Release your arms down by your sides, let them be. Big breath in, big breath out. Slowly roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Take your chin off of your chest, last. All right, a little bit of a head rush. How is it? Get the blood rush into the head so you can think better. All right, start to sway from side to side. As you sway from side to side, do that big coat swing. Tap your hips, tap your backside, look over a shoulder, then the other shoulder. Breathe. Big breath in, and big breath out. One more thing with the arms, actually two more things with the arms. Finish up, slow the arms down. Slow the arms down, let's do a big windmill. So just think of doing like the backstroke in a pool. Big, big arms going to the back of the room. Take them big as you can, as big as you want. Doesn't have to be huge, just try. Wake up the shoulders. So you're doing the backstroke, like big windmills. Now take the windmill in the other direction. Go forward, breathe. Move them a little bit faster maybe. And then finish. Take your palms together, interlace your fingers, and do a big infinity sign, a sideways number 8. Get the hips moving a little bit too. Big infinity sign. Just warm up and breathe. Get the blood flowing. And then let's finish. Finish up. Hinge forward. Hands toward the ground. Bring the hands eventually down to the ground with a bend in your knees. Come into your child's pose. Child's pose is the beginning pose of our practice. Today I'm going to keep my knees together, big toes touch, hips back toward my heels, and I'm going to bring my forehead down. Here's your opportunity to use a block. You can bring your forehead down to your block. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Or you can bring your forehead down to the ground. You could take a wide-legged child's pose option if you like. I'm going to stay in this one for something different. My palms are up, fingers reaching toward the bottom of the mat. Wide-legged child's pose, the difference there would be your knees spread wide, big toes are still touching. Head can be on a block or your mat, and your arms will reach to the top of your mat. Arms reaching to the top of the mat gets you back into your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let the outside world go. Deep breath in, deep breath out, sigh it out. Let's do another type of breathing. Be aware of your breathing, pay attention to your breathing. One of the ways to do that is to focus on your breath by closing your lips and breathing in and out of your nose for what's called Ujjayi Pranayama breath, the breath of life. Breathe deeply, lips are closed. Listen to the sound of your breath in the back of your throat. Child's pose, come back to it any time, either the classic variation that I'm in or the extended one if you choose. It's your practice, do what feels right for you. Right now, I'm going to come out of this child's pose, taking a deep breath in, lifting on up, bringing my hands down to my mat, kind of a neutral tabletop for just a second. Now, while you're here, I want you to think about something. Spread your fingers wide. Press your thumb a little more into the mat and press your index finger, the pointer finger, press it into the mat a little bit too. Kind of suction cup your fingers like a little gecko, but a little more push in the thumb and the pointer finger. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Send your hips high to a downward facing dog. All right, let's break this apart. Feet are hip width distance apart. Heels slightly elevated. Arms shoulder width distance apart. Pressing into those two fingers, remember. And your gaze is back towards your knees or your navel. A little bit of bend in your knees might feel good. Now your head, shake it out. Shake it out, loosen your neck, and breathe. Pedal it out. Bring one heel closer to the earth than the other. Loosen it up. Your body looks like an inverted V. Think of your tailbone. Think of your tailbone. That's kind of fun. Think of your tailbone. Send it high to the sky. Breathe. Push into the earth and finish. Still your feet. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands to meet your feet. Slowly roll your spine up as if you're stacking one vertebra on top of another, keeping your chin to your chest. Roll on up and let's take a Samasthiti pose. What is that? That is bringing your hands to prayer center. You're standing up nice and tall and straight. Eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in and a deep shoulder softening breath out. In this Samasthiti pose, just take a moment here to think about why you're here on your mat. Maybe create a little mantra for yourself. I am at bliss today. I search for my bliss, my happiness. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Maybe your mantra is I am strong, or I can do this, or I am doing this. But a little positive affirmation just for you that you can come back to saying in your mind. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. When you're ready, blink your eyes open, focus on those words, and then lift your fingers up to the sky. Take this pose called Tadasana, extended mountain pose. Lengthen through your fingers. Really reach. Almost feel the lengthening through your hips. Breathe. We come back to this pose often. Now soften your shoulders a little bit so they're not up by your ears, but you're still reaching really high to the sky. When you're ready, hands through prayer center, fold forward. Now you're looking at your feet. Take your two fists, have them next to each other, and measure. Your feet should be two fist widths different distance apart. That's hip width. Put a little bend in your knees. Do a ragdoll pose. I bet you thought I forgot. Ragdoll's a great pose. Let's do it. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Little bend in your knees. Start to sway from side to side. This is one of my favorite poses. Do you like it? Let me know. We have a group on Facebook. It's a private group. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga. Let me know if you like child's pose. Let me know what poses you do like, and we'll incorporate them in this week. Just like a live class. Ask and you shall receive. All right, elbows back toward the knee. Sway, sway, sway. Decompress the low back. Look to your knees or your belly button. Really let the crown of your head hang to the earth. Finish up. Come back to stillness. Place your hands on your mat, walk them forward, and come on down to a high plank. A high plank, we're going to do Chaturanga Dandasana. You could be pressed up against the wall like I was in the beginning during the countdown. So if you step away from the wall, press your hands into the wall, you can do this same movement as if the mat were the wall or the wall were the mat. I'm going to hinge forward, bringing my shoulders over my wrists. Press into the earth, lengthen through your spine. When you're ready, low plank, bend the elbows. You can come down to your knees if you want. And then bend your, straighten your feet so your tops of your feet are on your mat. Straighten in the elbows, lengthen on up to a upward facing dog. Again, you can be down on your knees here as well. Think of your chest going forward. And then take it to a down dog. Been here before. Tuck your feet towards your shins. Press into the earth. Tailbone goes high. You're in an inverted V. You're in a down dog. Pedal it out. Always good to pedal it out in your down dog. Let's run through a sun salutation A. Bend your heels. Bring your heels closer to the earth, legs are straight. Walk your feet up to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain, remember this. Breathe, lengthen. Exhale, hands through prayer center, fold forward. Fold in half like a paper clip. This time as you inhale, remember you're paying attention to your breath today. Inhale, rise on up so your back is nice and flat. Bring your hands to your shins or wherever it is to create a flat back. Squeeze your shoulders towards your spine. Back is flat like a tabletop. You could put a cup of coffee on it. How's that? Push into the legs. Back is flat. This is your halfway lift. Exhale, breathe out, forward fold. Walk your hands forward. Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe you're taking it on the wall. Totally good. Just try. So you come into a high plank, shoulders over your wrists. Push the earth away. You are strong. Exhale, bend the elbows, hover above the earth or be on your knees. Bring your legs so that the tops of your feet are on your mat. Lift in your upward facing dog. Tuck your back toes under, send your hips high, down dog. Push into the mat, slide the mat forward to pedal your heels. Breathe. Let's do it one more time. Walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up. Back to your Tadasana, extended mountain. Lengthen, enjoy, breathe, exhale. Hands through prayer center, breathe it out, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Remember your back nice and flat. Lengthen. Do what you can with what you got and be happy. Don't complain. Focus on the good. Focus on what you can do. Exhale, hands come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Remember, it's always an option to do it against the wall or on your knees. Go for it, on your knees. High plank, perhaps. Exhale, low plank. Press the earth away. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, pedal. Whew, feels good. All right, that was your sun salutation A. Let's go on to a sun salutation B. Still your heels. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands to meet your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain. Here's the first little difference. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Come into chair pose, Utkatasana. How's your breathing? Breathe. Breathe deeply. Hi, Lori. Hi, Liz. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Stan. Reach. Reach through your fingers. Sink lower. Put more weight into your heels. Hold here. Your quads are strong. Stay strong. Chair pose, Utkatasana. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. It's always good to have beginnings. This is the beginning of a sun salutation B. All right, when you're ready, straighten your legs. Hands to prayer center, forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Back is flat. Breathe. Exhale, plant your hands on your mat, step it back, Chaturanga Dandasana again, or your variation. Maybe you just go back to your down dog. I'm gonna go high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here's something a little different. Kick your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, sweep it through to a low lunge. This is a challenge for me. I have to modify. I got to bring my leg around and then in between my two front hands. Inhale, rise up to standing. As you're standing, sink into your knees. Right knee over right ankle. Left leg is straight. Both feet are solidly planted on your mat. All right, rise on up, shoulders over your hips, arms tee out. This is your warrior two pose. Be strong in this pose because you are strong. You are strong, believe it. Just get stronger. All right, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Turn your head to the right, look over your right middle finger. Inhale, lengthen up. Imagine squeezing the mat together with your strong thighs. That's a good cue, isn't it? It's hard to do. You really feel it in the inner thighs. Squeeze. Look over your right middle finger. Exhale, reach to the front of the room and then tick-tock your arms. Nice and straight, nice and long into a 6 and 12 o'clock position. Check out your right knee. Make sure it's still over the ankle. Press your forearm into your leg. Press the leg back into the forearm. Lift your left arm high. Breathe, look up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Rise on up. Right arm goes high. Left arm comes down. Look up. Look up. Always look up. Breathe. Breathe. Be happy with what you got. Don't look back. Look up. Look forward. Breathe. Exhale. Cartwheel your arms. Chaturanga Dandasana. Right foot goes back to meet the left. High plank. Elbows bend, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take it on your knees if you want. Exhale, down dog. Hips are high. Pedal it out and breathe here. When you're ready, inhale, left leg kicks high. Exhale, it sweeps through to a low lunge. Inhale, come up to standing, shoulders over hips, feet planted. Reach to the sides of your room. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, settle in. Check out your left knee. Is it over the ankle? Squeeze your mat together. Big inhale, lengthen up, shoulders are soft. Turn your head to your left hand. Look over your left middle finger, turn your head a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, reach to the front of the room. Tick-tock, 6 and 12. Press into the thigh, look up to the right hand. Breathe and big stretch on the right side. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm goes down, your right leg. Left arm goes high and you look up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms. Chaturanga Dandasana, left foot back to meet the right. High plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's flow through this more quickly. Do what you can. Maybe you do 10%. Listen to your body and do what's right. Walk your feet to meet your hands, or your hands to meet your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain. Exhale, knees bend, Utkatasana, chair pose. Reach, sink lower. Reach, exhale, sink lower. On this next pose, bring your hands to prayer center, straighten the legs, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to your shins. Is your back flat or your shoulders back? Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. Exhale, plant your hands on your mat. Step it back to your variation of a plank. Maybe you go back to down dog and stay there. Press into your thumb and your index finger. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through. Low lunge. Inhale, rise up, feet plant, warrior two. Sink low, squeeze your mat. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, look to the right and reach right. Tick-tock 6 and 12, look up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm high, left arm low. Exhale, cartwheel your arms and do a chaturanga dandasana if you like. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through, low lunge. Inhale, rise up. Warrior two, look left, sink low. Exhale, reach. Tick-tock 6 and 12. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm down, left arm high. Exhale, cartwheel your arms, chaturanga dandasana. High plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out and breathe. Finish up, still your heels, bend your knees. Crouching tiger. Hinge the weight more forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. Knees are slightly bent and above the mat. Breathe here, hold here. Finish, come down to your knees. Let's do some other core stuff. How are you doing? I'm gonna grab a drink. Hello to Kelly, Maria, Rena, Tim. Good to see you. Steve, Roger, Kelly, Jim. Life is good. All right, take a drink. Let's do some other core stuff. How's your breathing? I bet you're breathing deeply now, right? Get it under control. Big breaths in. And big breaths out. All right. Let's go into our core things. The usual core things. Maybe if you want to use your strap for your boat pose, have it nearby. I'm not going to use it today. Today I'm not going to use those props. But you decide. Remember, it's your yoga. Do it your way. All right, Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Soles of the feet touch. Knees open wide. Hands in prayer. Lengthen up. You are strong. Exhale, recline. Come all the way down to your mat. Once you're fully reclined, where are your heels? Maybe closer to the groin, maybe further away. You decide. In these three poses, our usual little 3 core sequence poses. Maybe you want to breathe in and out of your mouth to let some of the heat go that you built up in those sun salutations. All right, elbows bent, fingers lightly at your temples. Elbows open wide, knees open wide too. You could stay right here. See, there's lots of ways around it. Just try, just breathe, enjoy being here. Lift your chin up to the sky as you exhale. Inhale, come on down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. You do it your way. Maybe you'd like to lift and just pulse, pulse, pulse the chin up to the sky. Breathe. Elbows open wide, knees open wide. You got it. You're strong. Keep at it. Don't quit. You want to get stronger? Work at it. Work, work. It's all good. Because you feel so good when it's done. All right, finish up. Come on down. Let's do bicycle. For your bicycle pose, draw your knees together to touch at your midline. You can keep the soles of your feet down. Just work your feet a little bit apart so it feels natural. You can keep the feet here. Fingers lightly at your temples. Exhale, peel on up. Draw your left elbow towards your right knee and the other right elbow toward left knee. And just go back and forth, a little bit of a twist. You can do it that way. Another way to do it is to keep your shoulders down. Bend your knees. Have your knees over your hips. Shins parallel to the sky. Ride a recumbent bike. That's fun. Drive through your heels. Maybe that's where you are today. I'm going to put them both together. Fingers at the temples. I'm going to pedal through my heels, bending one leg, straightening the other, while peeling my shoulders up and bringing opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Breathe, 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 and have fun. All right, here's another variation. You know this one. Straighten your legs like a letter L. One heel down, one heel up to the sky. And then switch. Capital letter L, capital letter L. Both legs are going up and down, and you're having fun in your bicycle pose. Let's finish. Feet come down. Hands, now take them and place them behind your thighs, low on your hamstrings. Knees bent, hold here. Breathe. Rock and roll up, back and forth a couple times. If you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, you know you need to talk to your doctor. Ask them if this is okay for you to rock and roll on your spine. You know your body best. Do what's best for you. Are you having fun rocking and rolling? Let it be. Have a good time. Rock and roll. Seriously, just have fun. Seems like an odd combination. Have a good time. Play with it. And then come on up to seated. Send your shoulders back. Back is nice and straight. Chest is lifted. Lean on back as if you're in a recliner. Lean on back. Hold onto your legs. Maybe lift one leg or the other or both. And you're holding on to the back of your legs. Totally fine. If you're used to using a strap in this pose, go for it. You can always do that. I'm going to release my hands, reach toward my feet. Maybe reach a little higher, higher, higher to the sky. You decide what works for you. Put a little bend in your knees. Let's row the boat. Hands to prayer center, elbow to the earth and the other. Breathe, breathe, like you're rowing a boat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's finish rowing the boat. Hands to prayer center, feet come down if they're not already there. And let's come into a little pose called cosmic egg. This is fun. Bend your knees really generously. They love it. Heels up towards your groin. Forearms underneath your knees. Reach for opposite elbows. Hollow out your belly. That's a big part of it. Whew. Exhale. Bring your forehead to your knees. Maybe press the weight up to your toes. Find some balance here. It's kind of fun. You're not going to fall far. Find your balance. Breathe in your cosmic egg. Let's do some lunges. Feet come down, crisscross at the ankles. Let's go into a downward facing dog. All right, in your down dog, you remember this one. Feet hip width distance, hands shoulder width distance. Breathe, press the weight into your thumb, press the weight into your pointer finger. Hips are high, pedal it out. Shake your neck. Breathe. Still your heels, right leg kicks high as you inhale. Exhale, right leg hollows out the belly. You bring it forward in between your two front hands and take your lunge. All 10 toes are pointing forward. That's the start. Rise on up, shoulders over your hips. Back heel is lifted. Now put a bend in both knees. Oh my goodness, big bend in both knees. Such a big bend in your knees. Right knee is over your right ankle. Your left knee is hovering above the earth, or bring it down. Nobody's judging you. Don't criticize yourself. Hold here, stay here in your lunge, whichever you take, high or low. I'm going to go back to lifting my knee up a little bit off the ground, and I'm going to lift my arms up to the sky. You can keep them on your hips if you want. Look to the back of the room. Send your fingers back there too. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Hold right here. If you're down on your back knee, you can deepen your twist. If you're up on your back knee, you're challenging your balance. What do you want to do today? Do it your way. When you're ready, as you exhale, left elbow outside of the right knee. Now, instead of hands stacking like we often do, open up your left arm to the bottom. Lift up your right arm to the sky. Open it up, breathe. Breathe, look up. Exhale, palms come back to touch at the midline of your body. Come down to your back knee if you're not already there. Let's do a runner's lunge. For a runner's lunge, let your right toes go up to the top right corner of your mat. Bring a block to the top of your mat as well. Send your left leg long, maybe slip the towel under your left leg. Top of your left foot is on your mat. Nice big stretch in your left hip. Hands can come down to your mat. Hands can come down to your block. Open up your right leg, outside of the right knee, toward the earth as you come onto the pinky edge side of your foot. If you like, doesn't work for everybody. Maybe you keep the sole of the foot down. Maybe you want to wiggle the toes of the right foot a little higher to the top of the mat. You decide what works for you. You can have your hands on the block, You could have your hands on the ground. You know there's more. You could have your forearms on the block and breathe. Let your spine be long as you lengthen through the crown of your head. You could also slip down to your forearms and breathe. That is your runner's lunge. Let's come out of it and go into a side plank. Bring your hands solidly down to the earth. Send your right leg back to meet your left, and let your right arm be your foundation for your side plank. Shoulder over wrist, that's important for stability. You can be on your bottom left knee. Right leg can go long, and you can lift it up and send your arm high up to the sky. Another variation, both legs could be long. They could be side by side and kickstanded. Arms go up to, right arm goes up to the sky. Maybe keep the inner ankles glued together and lift and reach. Keep your hips lifted, breathe, push the earth away and finish. Hands come down, you come back to a downward facing dog. Pedal your feet and let's do the other side. Still your feet. Left leg kicks high. Remember this? Sweep it through to a low lunge. Left foot between two front hands. Rise on up, all 10 toes are shining forward. Lift on up, put a bend in your knees. Arms go up or stay on your hips if you feel more confident there. Nobody's judging you. Arms lift, little back bend if you like. Maybe bend deeper into the knees. Hands to prayer center, hold here. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's turn right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Open up the arms, nice and wide. Left arm goes up to the sky. Right fingers go down to the earth. Look to the left. Look up high. Exhale, hands back to prayer center. Come down to your back right knee if you're not already there. Let's go into that runner's lunge, using your block to begin if you like. Left toes wiggle to the top left corner of your mat. Right leg goes long and straight. You can use that towel underneath. Hands can be on your block. You can open up the knee of the left leg to the side of the room. You do what feels right. It doesn't feel right for everybody. Maybe hands are on the block. Maybe today you say, hey, I can bring my hands down to the ground. Press into the mat. Maybe you say, I'm going to bring my forearms down to the block. Lengthen through your spine. Hold right here. Or perhaps, maybe you have a half block. You could use that or come all the way down to your forearms. Breathe and enjoy your runner's lunge. Don't enjoy it too long because we're coming out of it now. Press into your hands. Press into your hands. The left foot goes back to meet the right. We'll do a side plank on this side. Take the variation that you like. Remember, shoulder over wrist. You can be on your knee or not. Lift on up through your left arm. Look on up to your left arm if you like. This is your side plank pose. You can be on your knee. Just try. Finish. Hands come down. Come back to a down dog. Always a fun place to be. When you're ready, pedal it out. Shake your neck. And prepare for some balancing. All right. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Either one. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to your shins, lengthen through your back. Exhale, fold forward because you can. Inhale, arms sweep up. Extended mountain. Big breath in, big breath out. How are you feeling? Life is good. Hands to prayer center. Let's do tree. Yesterday we did it balancing on a block. You can do it again that way if you want, or up against the wall. I'm going to add a couple other poses to it for a trio of 3 poses. So you may not want to be on a block, but you decide how you want to do your tree. All right, hands to prayer center. Shoulders are soft. Close your eyes for a moment. Come back to your breath. Big breath in and big breath out. For your tree pose, I'll talk you through it. You can keep your eyes closed. That's a challenge. Root into your left foot. Weight out of your right. Open up your right knee to the side of the room. Kind of kickstand it like a Barbie doll foot on the balls of your right foot. Breathe. And when you're ready, maybe bring the heel inside the inner left ankle. How are you doing with the eyes closed? Maybe not. Blink them open if you like. Maybe bring the sole of the foot up into the calf. Press the foot into the calf and the calf back into the foot. Hold it here if you like. What else you can do here is bring the foot even higher up to the inner right thigh, inner left thigh. Press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Make sure your hips are equidistant to the front of the room. Settle in. The left foot is strong. The only place you don't want to put your foot is on your knee. Find your balance here. Maybe a chair is your best friend right now. Hold it here. Breathe. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. That helps you keep your balance. Here are the poses I'm going to combine it with. We're going to take this to a one-legged mountain, then to a warrior three. So let's go. Bring your foot away from your inner thigh. Don't put the foot down though. Bring the right knee to the front of the room. Have your knee at about hip height and draw your right toes up towards your shins. Hold it here. Now grow your branches up to the sky into your mountain pose. Fingers reach, hold here. Step out really far with your right foot. As you step out far with your right foot, hinge the weight forward into the right leg. Little bend in your right knee, back foot can lift. Maybe it feels better today to have your hands on your hips. It's all good. You're moving. I'm going to reach through my parallel arms, lift my left leg up, little softening in my right knee, lift the left leg high to about hip height, reach through the fingers and come into like the letter T shape. You could still have your hands on your hips. That's a good place to be, or even prayer center. You decide where you want your arms to be. Slowly come up, left foot meets right. You're in your extended mountain pose. Lengthen up and breathe. Exhale, hands to prayer center, and breathe. Maybe close the eyes. Root into your right foot now. Weight out of your left. Maybe that's enough, just right there. Open up the left knee to the side of the room. Maybe the heel touches the inner right ankle and just hold here. Closing the eyes makes it hard, it really does. But you're up for hard, come on now. You're strong, you can do this, challenge yourself. You can stay right here, open the eyes whenever you need to. I'm gonna look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet and I'm gonna bring my foot a little higher. You can bring it as high as you want, but just don't put it on your knee. You don't wanna put that sideways stress on your knee. A good cue here. Foot into leg, leg pushes back into foot. Lengthen up, hold it right here, and breathe. If you'd like, lift your arms up to the sky. Think Tadasana, extended mountain arms. Find your balance, no big deal if you fall out. Get right back in. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Remember, knee is at about hip height, toes drawn up towards your shin. Lengthen up through even your hips. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and your hips. Lift your fingers a wee bit higher. You've got it. Here is your one-legged mountain. Stay strong. You can do it. Yes, you can. Take a big step out with your left foot. Hands can come to your hips or keep your arms parallel to each other or prayer center. Always a good place to be. Send the weight into your left leg. Right leg lifts a little or even higher. You could have your chair in front of you and your hands on it. You could be so close to a wall that you put your back right foot on the wall. So take the variation of your warrior three that speaks to you today. Breathe. Lengthen, finish. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer center. Right foot meets left. You did it. There you go. Nice combination of three poses just to flow through it. All right, next pose, eagle pose. No surprises. You know this one. It's called Garandasana. Bend into your knees. Bend into your knees and your arms. What do you do with your arms? You can keep them on your hips. You can keep them at prayer center. I'm gonna lengthen them and reach. Another option, hands to opposite shoulders. Reach, bend into your knees. So this is your chair pose. Remember this one from earlier, from our Sun Bee? Reach, strengthen your quads. Oh my goodness, such a good pose. Breathe. I'm gonna take my right arm, sweep it under my left. Palms touch, elbows down, look over the fingers. Squeeze the shoulders to the sides of the room. You can stay right here. If you're seated in a chair, easy peasy to do, right? You got it. Left foot is gonna be my foundation. Lift out of the right, maybe cross the right leg over the left, maybe top of the right foot comes behind the left calf. Squeeze all that you got, sink lower, shoulders back a little bit more, squeeze, eagle pose. You got it. Now, right foot comes down, arms unfold, extended mountain, Tadasana, stretch it out. Bend your knees. Maybe this is right where you stay. Maybe you hang out right here. Nothing wrong with that. You're still doing yoga. You are doing yoga. You are becoming a new creation, and that is a good thing. All right, arms however you like. This time I'm gonna sweep left arm under right. Palms touch, elbows squeeze down, look over your fingers. Shoulders back over your hips, sink lower. Stay right here if you like. Right foot is gonna be my foundation. I'm gonna lift my left leg up. Gonna cross my legs. Gonna take the top of my left foot behind my right calf and sink low. Shoulders back, squeezing down, looking over the fingertips, looking forward, finding your focus, and then finish. Feet meet on the mat, arms go high, extended mountain, sneak in a baby back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Fold forward, look back to your knees. A little bend in your knees feels good. Maybe wiggle your hips because you're here to have fun. And every bit of movement is good. Roll your chin up, spine up, one vertebra at a time, chin away from your chest. Last, let's do dancer pose. A big one. This is a tough balancing pose. Lift your arms up to the sky. You'll be glad we did those windmills in our warm-up. Circle your right arm to the back of the room. Left fingers reach. Don't forget about those. Those are just as important. Root into your left foot. Take your right hand. Capture all 5 fingers of the right hand inside your right foot. Bring the knees back together to meet. Lengthen up again. Breathe. Now focus on just kicking into your back right hand. Kick, kick, kick to the back of your room. Kick, kick, kick up. Left arm reaches to the front of your room because you are counterbalancing here. Kick, reach, you got it. Finish. Right foot meets left. Both arms go up. Heart's a-beatin', isn't it? It's good. Left arm circles to the back. Fingers reach high. You're strong. You got this. Shoulders are mobile. You did it earlier. All right. Breathe. Root into your right foot. Weight out of the left. All 5 fingers of the left hand reach inside your left foot. Capture there. Lengthen up. Hold here. Maybe this is where you stay. Kick hard into your back hand to the back. Reach forward through the right hand. Kick back. Kick up. Breathe. Focus. Finish. Feet meet on the mat. Hands to prayer center. You did it. That's not easy. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. All right. Blink your eyes open. Fold forward. Take an inhale. Halfway lift. Back is flat. Exhale, plant your hands on your mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Or remember, we can meet back in down dog if you want. I'm gonna go high plank. Press into your thumb, press into your pointer finger. Breathe, lengthen, gecko hands. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. You're on the tops of your feet. Reach, gaze forward, chest is shining forward. Exhale, down dog, hips go high. Inhale, right leg kicks high. Exhale, half pigeon. Right knee behind the right wrist. Then bring your left leg down, nice and long and straight, top of the foot on your mat. Do you have a block nearby? I don't, but I'm gonna get one. Bring it up to the top of your mat. Right wrist, right knee. Bend your foot, bend your knee so that your shin is more parallel to the top of your mat. Press into your hands, left leg is long and straight. For the block, you can use the block and slip it under your right glutes. That will help you keep your hips equidistant to the mat. All right, lengthen up here through your spine. Exhale, come on down. Maybe you use a block to come down to your forearms, or you let your hands rest on top of each other, elbows wide to the sides of your room. Breathe. Pay attention to your breath. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, sigh it out calmly. Go back to your Ujjayi breath so you can focus inward. Lips closed. Breathe in and out. Long, deep breaths, no shallow breaths. Pay attention to your breath. Shoulders soften. Big stretch here. Send the breath to your hips. Think of unwinding the tension in your hips. Let's finish. We don't stay here long in today's practice. We'll stay here much longer in a Thursday or Sunday practice. So join us and check us out then. Press into your arms, straighten them. Send your left toes, draw them towards your shins. Move the block to the other side of your body. Send your right leg back to meet the left and shake it out in a three-legged down dog. Just shake out your leg. Move your hip. Let it feel good. You gotta move to feel good. You know that. Bring the feet to meet on your mat. Pedal it out for a moment or two here. Still your feet. Kick your left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Right leg goes long and straight. Top of the right foot is on the mat. You are going to now bring your left shin a little more parallel to the top of your mat if it works for you. Doesn't work for everybody. Bring the block underneath your left glutes. It makes a difference. It keeps your glutes, your hips equidistant to the mat. Press into the mat. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you inch your way on down. Hands on top of each other, elbows wide. All right, big breath in. Big sighing breath out of your mouth to let your shoulders relax. No tension there. Big inhale, breathe in freshness, newness. Don't be stale. Try something new. Become a new creation. This time as you exhale, send that breath to your hips to imagine loosening the tension there. No stress in the hips. Your breath is going to let it unwind. Breathe. This one's a tough one to get into, but once you're here, it's like, ooh, I think I want to stay longer. And we'll do that. We will do that on Thursday in our restorative practice. All right, inhale, press on up. Straighten your arms. Remove your block. Tuck your back right toes, a little bit of a kickstand there. Send your left foot back to meet the right and shake it out in your three-legged down dog. Move it any way you want. What feels good? Bring the feet to meet. Downward facing dog, tailbone high. Shake your neck, let it go. As you're ready, hinge forward. Think high plank. Hold it here for a second. You can do it. And then come on down to your belly. Once you're down on your belly, let's do cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Hands are underneath your collarbones. Zip up your legs like the tail of a cobra. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. This is the most challenging part for me because my legs want to pop up. Try to keep the feet pressed into the mat. Squeeze your elbows towards your body. Gaze is down, neck is long, chin or nose are on the mat. Take a big inhale and a big exhale to prepare. For the next inhale, lift your head on up. Lift on up. Press into your hands a little bit. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Try to not let them pop up. Breathe. Lift out of your chest to the front of the room. Hands, little to no weight in them. Maybe you put weight in your fingertips. Maybe no weight at all. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Then squeeze your elbows towards your feet. Lift in your cobra. Breathe. Come on down. Whew. Breathe. Arms come down by your sides. Turn your head so your left cheek or your left ear is on your mat. Breathe. Floor bow, Dhanurasana. You could use your strap if you want. I'm not going to use it. Bring your chin back to the center of your mat. Bend your knees. Maybe that's what you do today. You bend your knees. Bend your knees and keep them there. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to reach back, capture the outsides of my ankles. My knees have wiggled apart, so I'm going to wiggle them back together. Heels come towards your bottom. When you're ready, your gaze, your neck is long on your mat. Don't turn your head. Kick into your feet. Just focus on kicking into your feet. Kick into your feet. Maybe your thighs will lift. Gaze down your nose. Breathe. Floor bow. Lift. Breathe. Finish. Come down. Arms down by your sides. Turn your head. So now your right cheek or your right ear is on your mat. Breathe. Breathe. Soften. Breathe. We're almost done. This is all good. All this movement. It's good work. And you're doing good work. Chin back to the center of your mat. Hands underneath your collarbones. Straighten your elbows and press on up. This is called seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Create space there. Come on up to standing on your knees. I like to take a block and place it between my ankles. So I'm standing on my knees. Block is at its high height between my ankles. Breathe. So you're standing on your knees. Bring your hands to your low back. Hands to your low back. Fingers pointing down. Lift. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Push your hips forward. Look up right overhead as if a raindrop is going to get you right between the eyes. Breathe. Maybe you can take it farther, but you know how far you can go. Maybe you bring your hands to the block. Maybe you bring your hands to your heels as you look back to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the back of your room. Finish up by placing your hands on your low back. Come back up to shoulders over your hips. Remove your block. Have a seat on your heels. Eyes are closed. That makes everybody a little bit loopy. So don't think something's wrong. Breathe. Let it go. Send your legs long onto your mat. Lift your arms up to the sky. Toes are up there too. Reach forward as if you're handing someone a gift. Breathe. Stretch. Keep looking forward. Bring your hands down to whatever you can capture. Calves, thighs, ankles. Maybe drape your feet or your hands, your wrists over the tops of your toes and bring the palms of your hands to meet the soles of your feet. Little bend in your knees maybe. Now bring your chin, your forehead, your gaze to your knees. Finish up, shoulders over your hips. Come to fully reclined. Grab your eye shade and your towel and bring them up near your shoulders. That's a good sign. Come on down to fully reclined. Feet are on your mat. Bridge pose, arms down by your sides, hips go high. Breathe. Wiggle your shoulders so they're closer to each other. Interlace your fingers. We've done a lot of that today. Press your pinkies into your mat. Lift your hips higher. Finish. Hands by your sides. Roll your spine down. One vertebra at a time. All right, supine twist, one of my favorites. Send your left leg long on your mat. Let your heel go long to the mat so you feel it in your left front hip flexor. Bend your right knee up towards your chest. You can use a towel to make your arms longer if you want. Capture under your right knee. Hug it in. Hug it in. Maybe that's as far as you go today. It's good. Don't sweat it. I'm going to interlace my fingers, hugging the knee in. I'm going to take the left hand and guide the right knee across the midline of the body, tee out the right arm, and look to the right as best I can. Breathe. Come back, hip on the mat. Hug the right knee in. Left leg is still long. Now send the right leg long. We're going to switch sides. Right heel drives to the bottom of your mat. Maybe you stay right here. Draw the left knee up toward the chest. Interlace fingers or towel. Hug the left knee in. Right hand captures the left knee. Let it go across the midline of the body. Right here on your right hip. Encourage the left knee down and tee out your left arm. Shoulder stays on the mat. That's kind of the intense part. Turn your head to the left. That helps keeping the shoulder down. And look toward the left. Finish up. Left hip comes down. Hug the left knee in. Send both legs long. Now drag both heels up nice and slowly and intentionally using that strong core. Drag the knees up. Drag the knees up towards your chest. Left hand under left knee. Right hand under right knee. Hollow out your belly. Keep your elbows hugged in. As you exhale, peel your shoulders up. Maybe kiss your knees and send them long on your mat. Legs spread a little bit. Pinky toes, let them fall toward the mat, toward the edges of your mat. So you feel a little external rotation in your hips. Cover your eyes with your towel or your eye shade. Arms down by your sides. Wiggle your shoulders for a second so you get comfortable. Maybe tuck them under a bit, down and away from your ears. And tuck them under your back. Palms face up. Or down if you like, but I like the feeling of the palms face up. It means you're just open and receptive to change. But some days we need more grounding. And if that's the case, maybe bring palms face down. That's what's good about your yoga. You make it work for you. Eyes are closed. Come back to your breath. Let your breath soften your face, your jaws, your throat, your shoulders, your limbs. Soft breath in the belly and the glutes. Even your fingers and toes soften with the depth of each inhale and exhale. Take a deep breath in And a big sighing breath out. Audible, like how we began. You can stay here longer and rest. You worked hard, so maybe a little more rest would feel good. If it's time to move on with your day, start to wiggle your fingers and toes and just be aware of them. You don't think about your fingers and toes much. Like your breath, you don't think about your breath much. Big breath in, big breath out, motion up into the wrists and the ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead. You know how to do this. Take a big good morning stretch, like it's your first stretch of the morning before you even get out of bed. And as you exhale, bend your knees, bring your arms down by your side, roll onto one hip or the other. Use your low arms, bicep as a pillow for your head. Soften in your top shoulder. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Appreciate this moment. As you're ready, slowly press on up or float on up with the eyes open or closed. So many ways to do it. You just have to shake it up and do what's right for you today. Sit however is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude and thankfulness for what you have. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, soften. Every bit of strength, every inhale requires some softening, requires an exhale. They work together in harmony. Gently blink, your eyes open. You did it. Your hard work has paid off. You worked it. Good for you. You worked your body, and you also worked your mind and your spirit. So that measurement criteria that we said in the beginning, your stress number, what was it? And come back to it now. What is it? It really works. It's the magic of the yoga. It's the magic of the quiet time. It's the magic of your breath and just being here. So be here. Give yourself the little experiment. Try it every day for a week. It's 1 hour. It's 1/24th of your day, right? I got that math right. Come and do your yoga. Take the time for you. All right, stress numbers down. Life is good. Carry this peaceful feeling off of your mat all day. Also, take love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control with you too. Much love. See you guys on your mats tomorrow for another yoga practice. Love you guys. See ya. Bye. Hello, baby girl. Good girl. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, there you are. Good girl. Good girl. I think she needs a haircut, don't you? Good girl. No, you don't want a haircut. Bye. The power of believing in what's possible is the same power to make things change for the better in your life. And your yoga, I hope, is doing that for you. Stick with it. Tell your friends about us. Tell them to watch us on YouTube and Facebook. It'll make them much better friends. It'll make them feel better in their bodies, in their minds, and in their hearts. Yoga is good for you, and you know it. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. Tell them to check us out. If you'd like to support our broadcast, check out our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stick with it, believe in yourself, and see you on your mats tomorrow.